What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, the LowkeyLegend. Today, we are back with a brand new episode of Stoner Tips. This is going to be episode 132 of the Stoner Tips series. Today's topic, we are going to be covering laced weed and how you can tell if your weed is laced. Alright, so if you guys do enjoy this video, smash that thumbs up button. It goes a super long way with the YouTube channel. With all that being said, let's dive right on into this episode of Stoner Tips. So, the first thing I really want to hit and get out the way is 99% of the, I'd say the odds are a lot higher than 99%, but if there is a situation where you think your bud is laced, keep all this shit in mind. All right, number one, very minuscule amount of people lace weed. All right, now these are going to be in places where, you know, you can tell if weed is laced kind of like off the first hit. Honestly, guys, this is not going to be that informative because I've never really smoked laced weed. I've smoked K2 thinking it was weed. It was like a smoked bowl already, and I kind of just helped myself and took a hit. Didn't really go out as planned, and right there and there, I kind of knew after the inhale. I was like, all right, that doesn't weed does not taste like that. So if you are in a situation like that, I guess the best method of kind of knowing if your weed is laced is after the first hit. All right, all weed hits generally the same. It all smells the same, and you can tell if it has a different effect on you. Now, do not mistake this for being paranoid. All right, do not mistake, just because you get too high one day, don't think your weed is laced. That's not the first conclusion anybody should jump to when they smoke weed, because there's such a small amount of people who will sell laced weed that it's super minuscule, bro. Like, but there are people out there who may have bought laced weed and did not even know it. But the process of doing that, in the end, it's more wasteful on the drug dealer's part, going out and lacing it with whatever they want to lace it with. Now, this can be really done with any drug. I think all you got to really do is get it to the powder form, sprinkle it over the weed, and there you have it. I guess the weed's laced. Other than that, I don't really know the process about going, you know, and smoking laced weed. I've never really laced weed with anything other than wax, and it's clear as day that, you know, it's not even really on the weed when you buy it. It's just there. I get a nice little wax strip, put it in the blunt, and smoke it that way. But really, other than that, I've don't know the point of lacing weed. I've never smoked it, I don't think, but there have been occasions where I've gotten really high and questioned it. I'm like, damn, this shit might be laced. Either that, or it's a weird strain of weed, because every strain does something different. But there have been questionable weed that I picked up, and I was like, dude, this is making me a little weird right now. But that could also be the strain, as I said before. So keep that in mind. And the amount of time, not even time, but the amount of money some drug dealers will use. If they're selling laced weed, they should tell you before you buy it, because I had a plug one time. He's like, yo, you want this shit? It's got some other shit inside it. I don't know what the case was, but I know it has been offered to me, and he did tell me before I was going to buy it, because he was selling regular weed and then he was selling this laced weed. I don't know what it was laced with. It was a super long time ago, but I do remember it being offered to me. I don't know the substance that was mixed in with it, and I don't think it's ever safe to really mix substances in with weed. So that's not some shit I'd ever just want to buy. But if you are put in a situation where you're smoking with your friends and you notice that this weed is tasting a little weird, do not jump to the conclusion that it's laced, because I did that a lot in high school, and all the times I thought it was laced, it really wasn't. I just smoked either way too much of a certain strain, or, you know, it was just a weird high for me. And I mean, I could assume that a lot of people would jump to the conclusion that, hey, man, this shit's laced, you know, what the fuck's in here? But keep in mind, there are hundreds and hundreds of different strands out there, strains of weed that you can choose from and smoke, and each strain does something different to your body. Or to your high, and affects it in one way or another. But to go about finding it, it's really off the first hit. There's no really easy way to find out if your weed's laced, other than after you get high, you kind of just sit there and kind of think about it. Do not think too hard about it, though, because there have been situations where I kind of scare myself into thinking the weed's laced. So do not do that. Just kind of try to avoid thinking about it at first, but if it pops into your mind, it's like, damn, okay, this is affecting me a little differently. Take into consideration everything that I said in this video. Lacing weed is not, it's a struggle at most, you know, it's wasteful of money. So whatever they decide to put in there, odds are they're losing money. They could have sold that alone, whether it be coke, you know, Adderall. I don't know what the fuck people lace weed with though. I've never learned the process of that, never watched any videos of you know, going in depth about that, because that's not really something that worries me. That's not something that the stoner community really does. I feel like they're very anti-laced weed. So I mean, you could come across someone who decides to do, you know, some fucked up shit like that, and if you do, then I think you'll know right away as soon as, you know, something looks off, or you see you know, you look at it, inspect it in the light, a little nug of weed, and you see some shit on there, some like, you know, residue or some powder or whatever the case is. That's a good way to notice. But do not mistake that for the THC crystals that's in the weed. Don't be like, oh my god, it's so crystally, this dude fucking put meth in my weed. No, that's not a conclusion you guys should jump to straight away. Just relax if you are thinking about your weed being laced, and completely get that thought out of your mind, bro, because it's really, really rare that you will get laced weed, at least where I'm from. And if you guys, you know, are buying from a sketched person who thinks that they, you know, who you think has a bad little mentality, you could tell if they're lacing weed by the person you're buying it off of. All right, so if this good person's got a good reputation of selling weed across your entire, you know, little town, then odds are it's probably not laced, it's just really good weed. And keep that in mind. But also, it can happen, I guess. So if you know it's laced, the best thing I would do is either try to ask for your money back, or go about just finding another plug completely. Do not hit that dude up again. I would leave a message on, you know, some social media site or something saying that he sells laced weed, or at least tell all your friends that do not pick up off this guy, he's selling laced weed. But I don't think that's never happened to me, and I've been smoking for a long time, picked up off of a lot of different people, and it's just different people have different strands at different times, so it's really, really hard to tell. But like I said, man, this is not something that frequently happens, and odds are it will never happen to any of you guys. I just figured I'd make this video because this is something I did tweak out about back when I was first smoking weed. I really thought, you know, a lot of weed was laced. But I think that was maybe a lot of my parents, you know, talking to me about that shit, saying that it's very easily to be laced. But thinking about it now, nobody in their right mind is gonna go out and just sprinkle fucking a gram of coke on weed, you know, a $60 gram of coke on some weed, just, you know, to see your for you to not even see your reaction. Like, dude, it doesn't make no sense when you fucking really think about it. So just do not tweak on this. It's a very do not get yourself paranoid thinking about this shit. Alright, that's it. Moral of the story, because this shit is very rare. Odds are it will never happen to you in your life. And other than that, man, just be cautious with who you're buying from, and inspect your weed before you smoke it. Other than that, those are really the only tips I can give you guys for finding out if your weed is laced. The subject of laced weed taking over episode 132 of the Stoner Tips series. If you guys did enjoy, smash the thumbs up button. Check out my Instagram if you guys are new. Going to be the first link in the description. If you guys are new to the YouTube channel, go check my videos out and subscribe if you do enjoy. That is all for today. I'm going to catch y'all tomorrow for a brand new video. Thanks for watching. Y'all stay safe, stay savage, stay low-key. It's your boy, the LowkeyLegend. I'm out of here, guys. Adios.